to know by a show of hands, the ladies that did the TOT? TOT? I know you're 10 ladies. They know themselves. So I'm just going to invite one of you, the lady at the back. I'm sorry, you're Rebecca? Rebecca? Yeah, you come. I have a surprise for you. I have a surprise for you. And the surprise is you're going to energize us. Okay? Yeah, you're empowered. I'm told you're empowered to do so.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies. Let's stand up and we have the energizer. This one. There I go. Okay, we are going to pick the ball from wherever it is, either from the left or from the right, but I prefer the right. So I will be like, I catch the ball, then you catch. Like I catch the ball, I catch the ball. I put it here, I put it here. You repeat like after me, you do whatever I'm doing. I did that. Okay, we start. I catch the ball, I put it here. I catch the ball, I put it here.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. That was good. So, I'm really very privileged to welcome our distinguished guests, a president of German Association of Rural Women. You're most welcome. You know Gina? She's a celeb. They are now Ugandans. So we are privileged to have you all in this closing ceremony of the ECAWA project. It's a project that has impacted women, especially rural women from all over Uganda, enhancing the capacity of young women in agribusiness. And very many young women have shown us what they are doing in their communities with the products that they have. The confidence and the leadership that they have will not stop. So you put money and you put your energy, you put your knowledge and skill in the right place. Imagine you had given it to men. We don't know, we wouldn't be sure that it would be passed on, but you gave it to women and we are sure it is going to move on. At least we are sure of that. So thank you so much. And I don't know what we can do. Someone from Uganda to show how we do it. Who can do it? Who knows how we can do it? Jessica, come. For us, we know how to do it best. We are going to thank them. We are going to first look at the right and thank, then also look at the left and thank them, okay? Thank you so much for the work that you've done in women in Uganda. Thank you so much for the work you've done in Uganda. So we are really very grateful. And then I would like to invite our guests that are going to present for us the baseline and the endline studies that the project by DLF what they have done they will present to us a little of what has been going on the past 2 years, the baseline studies and the endline studies. So I'd like to invite Jenna. Oh, she's not here. Can you help, Jennifer? Can you help? So Jennifer is going to support on that. I'd like to invite the president, German Association of Rural Women, to give us a presentation. Kindly join. Welcome her.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, friends, and especially the inspiring rural women who are with us today. It is a great honor to open this project closing ceremony here in Kampala, together with all of you who have made this journey possible. While this celebration takes place on the International Day of Rural Women, which we marked this morning, our focus now is something very specific and deeply meaningful. The completion of a journey we have taken together over the past years. A journey that has touched many lives, built new connections, and created lasting impact. The German Association of Rural Women, DLW, has worked closely with UNYFA, UNFFE, and many other local actors to support women in rural areas in building stronger livelihoods, growing their leadership, and contributing to sustainable rural development. Our cooperation was focused on 4 core areas, from capacity building and economic empowerment to organizational development, networking, and advocacy. Projects like ECAWA and SWISA are part of this broader effort, and they have shown what's possible when rural women are given the tools, the space, and the support to grow. That is why the day matters. It is a moment to honor achievements, yes, but also to recommit ourselves to action. Let us use this day to listen, to learn, and to connect. Because when rural women rise, communities thrive. And when we stand together, and I think rural women stand together, a better, more just future becomes possible for all. Thank you, and I look forward to a rich and meaningful exchange throughout the day.
Thank you so much, Petra. We are so privileged that you're here. You made it all the way to Uganda, and for the work that you have really done in your leadership, it is really appreciated. All the ladies here have been looking forward to hearing from you, and I'm sure you've really impacted. You're really feeling the love and a big heart from her. I would like to invite a gentleman from the German embassy. Sorry, I thought you were from GIZ. Right.
So, dear representatives of the German Association of Rural Women, DLW, it was nice having lunch with you, and thank you for inviting me. The Uganda National Farmers Federation, UNFFE. Yes, the Uganda National Young Farmers Association, UNYFA. I hope you can hear me better now. Project partners, and most importantly, dear women. It's nice to be with you today. But as we also have gentlemen, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by speaking about women empowerment as a core priority. Empowering women in rural areas is a cornerstone of this initiative and a key priority for German development cooperation. Promoting women's rights, gender equality, and rural development are central pillars of Germany's feminist development policy. And these central pillars are implemented locally through strong partnerships. So strengthening rural women through farmers' organization is essential for achieving the sustainable development goals, but also for building sustainable agricultural and food systems. So let me now express our recognition of partners and their contributions. We sincerely appreciate the efforts of UNFFE, of UNIFA, and the DLV, in close collaboration, of course, with our implementing partner, the GIZ, for their dedication to strengthening the role of women in agriculture. We also value the strong and constructive cooperation with Ugandan partners throughout the project. It is absolutely impossible to have impact without you. So special thanks to all local women who actively contributed and who took leadership roles. Your commitment was central to the success of this initiative. Allow me to turn to the topic of sustainability and lasting change. The success of this initiative depends on local actors continuing to build on what has been achieved. Encouraging outcomes are, for example, that rural women are acting as multipliers and community leaders. The creation of new networks, such as Rural Women Farmer Platform and international linkages, and also young women stepping into leadership roles in women's groups. So we do believe it's in these structures that ensure continued impact beyond the official end of this project. And we all know true sustainability depends on local ownership and definitely long-term commitment. Let me also highlight the role of German development cooperation as a reliable partner. In Germany, development cooperation is currently subject to critical debate and is often questioned in terms of effectiveness and relevance. So what we see here today offers a strong and tangible response. By empowering rural women, fostering ownership, and anchoring initiatives locally, development cooperation demonstrates real and lasting impact. These examples show how equal partnerships can drive meaningful change and strengthen both communities and our shared future and our shared values. So we stressed this already within the consultations that we had with the government just a couple of weeks ago, and also with the negotiation with the government. Germany, a partner to Uganda for more than 60 years now, remains a reliable partner in rural development and in the advancement of women's rights. Now, let me extend an invitation to continued cooperation. Although today marks the closing of this project, the journey continues. We remain open to continued dialogue and cooperation in support of rural women and their communities. So let us keep working together for a just, for an inclusive, and a resilient future for rural women in Africa and all around the world. And finally, while this event marks the end of the project phase, the work and the importance will move on. Today's gathering not only coincides with the International Day of Rural Women, we also look ahead to 2025, the International Year of Women Farmer. So in the name of the German Embassy in Kampala, the German taxpayers that are left and right next to me, thank you to everyone involved for your commitment, for your leadership, and for your collaboration. As mentioned, our special recognition goes to the local women who took on responsibility and made this project a success through their leadership and through their dedication. Let's stay ambitious Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Felipe. Another applause for Felipe for the love and care. Thank you so much for the support that you're offering the rural women in Uganda. So join me as we welcome the State Minister for Gender and Cultural Affairs and the Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development, Honorable Dr. Mutuzo Peace Regis. We are really honored to have you here, and we don't want to wait any longer. We want to really hear from you. One of your members was here in the morning. She told us so much about gender, but she promised that actually someone else is coming to tell us even more. So, and you're here. We are really happy and privileged.
Thank you so much, moderator. My colleague members of parliament who are here, representatives of the UN family, our development partners, the permanent secretary, the officers from the ministries, departments and agencies, officials from Uganda National Farmers Federation, representatives from the private sector, non-government organizations, the media fraternity. I am really privileged and honored to be here. I'm sorry for walking in at this time. I should have been here earlier to listen to what you have done, appreciate, and thank you so much for supporting and partnering with the Ugandan government in what you have done with the rural women, specifically targeting the young women and turning them around to be productive, giving hope to those who have lost it. We know what gender-based violence is about in many places where you have been working, so we really strongly appreciate. As I join you in the commemoration of the International Day for the Rural Women, I want to state that rarely do we meet in hotels when we are celebrating such a day. I have always insisted that we meet in the rural areas where it really matters most, where we touch and visibly see the life a woman has been going through. But during the campaign season like now, we have agreed that big celebrations, all these national, we do them in Kampala so that we don't interfere or people do not perceive us to be utilizing these platforms for campaigns. So for those of you who traveled from far up country, bear with us, our development partners. We don't discuss rural women's issues in the boardrooms of hotels. We usually do them to where they are. We did one in Karamoja, we did another one in Kapchorwa, we did another one in Karangara, and we usually target the people who are most vulnerable in their local settings. But today, please bear with us. Now that we are here, you know the major interest is about politics, and we don't want these programs, because we work with the development partners who are not partisans. So we don't want them to be affiliated to any, because if I went to the rural village, I would definitely talk about politics somehow. Allow me to extend our appreciation to GIZ for supporting 2 projects targeting rural women, and this in this very critical term of empowering the rural woman in their local areas. I hope some strategies have been made to ensure that we sustain them now that GIZ is leaving or phasing out from this particular project where you are, where you benefited. Government appreciates such initiatives because they complement government's programs in place, like the parish development model, like the Youth Livelihood Fund, the WEB program, and PDM, and many other wealth creation programs. Uganda government priority development strategy is to promote socio-economic transformation. The 4th National Development Plan, which is the overall planning framework for the country's development, has outlined specific interventions under the ATMs for women, including agro-processing, tourism, mineral development, oil and gas, import substitution, value addition. Uganda Economic Growth Strategy primary targets households to be involved in the economy through engaging commercial agriculture and other income-generating activities. I wish they had time to take you around. There are shops which are now selling new innovative tractors which can be managed by women. I've always had issues with these tractors which are focusing towards men, and they were female gender insensitive. Because even if a group of women were given a tractor, these manual tractors, who would drive it? Who knows their spare parts? So eventually, it tags you to paying the man, and yet you have been doing your agricultural businesses. So after a lot of input, the new innovations that are coming now for women are that you can use a knapsack to have a hoe that can plow. It is just carried on the back, and it is women friendly. And so are the tractors for weeding, for planting, for all that. The economy active population in Uganda is about 21 million, of which 53% are women. That is according to UBOS 2024 statistics. Less than 12% of the economically active women are in paid employment. And the majority in that paid employment are on the lowest cadre line. Those who are sweeping, the secretaries, and others. The lowest cadre line who are earning really little. Data and information has established that Uganda has a strong culture of entrepreneurship, including that for women. We are really tapping into the women's entrepreneurship. That's why government deliberately constructed a number of roadside markets and district markets, huge markets. And even in the sub-counties, we have a market almost every sub-county. The biggest number of people involved in that exchange, in the transaction, are women. We had to do that deliberately because we know traditionally the culture was discriminating women from owning implements of labor, including access to land, credit, education, and others. So the NRM government decided that women get out to begin working. And that's how we started up some of these programs like UNFFE, YLP, and others to capitalize women so that we're not struggling against honor tradition. You know how change takes a long time. But we find alternative ways as well, in addition to human rights programs that we have always been implementing, to harness nature and survive together harmoniously. It's also important to note that women's owned businesses have been observed to impact positively on both employment and wealth creation. They contribute to promotion of more equitable distribution of income, stimulate local development, promote the culture of entrepreneurship and businesses related to skills with the community. It is these specific strategies that were able even to win the World Bank grant called GROW. Because on assessment, Uganda was found to be one of the best 3 in Africa that women had enterprises that would survive more than 1 year. So 44% of the women's enterprises were found to have survived. And that's how World Bank was able to give us a GROW fund to grow small enterprise businesses of women, graduate them into middle and large-scale income-generating businesses. Women are therefore being supported to access credit and other financial services through various initiatives. Government has adopted and introduced an initiative approach to deliver public and private sector initiatives for wealth creation and employment generation at parish level as the lowest economic planning unit. The parish development model will support 39% of the population to move out of subsistence farming and engage in production for market and hence get involved in money economy. PADM will give women the opportunity to access 30% of the resources at parish revolving fund. Actually, as we talk, women are not getting 30% as we had strategized. Women are actually getting 56% of the PADM fund. We managed to benefit from youth. We also benefit from the women fund, which is specifically 30%. Among the elderly people, we have women who are in majority. Among the persons with disabilities, we still have women who are also a majority. So we have eventually offered about 56% in real terms. Other interventions that government has put in place that provide women with opportunity to engage in business include the Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, where a total of 14 billion shillings have been invested over the last 6 years, reaching 145,633 individual women beneficiaries. The Agriculture Credit Facility, which has disbursed 1.7 billion shillings for female-headed households, was also a deliberate plan. According to UBOS, where we know that Uganda acknowledges that men are heads of families. We have also done statistics every year, every 10 years. But we cannot run away from the fact that now 30% of the households in Uganda are run by women, and they are the heads of the families. And therefore had to provide an opportunity for them to access funds, and agriculture credit facility was among them. The industrial subsector has provided 1.2 billion to support skilling and building capacity for small and medium scale enterprises. And women who are involved into craft, those who are traditionally into artisan industry, we have encouraged them to get into the skilling program. And surely it has turned them around. The President's initiative of establishing about 19 skilling hubs has taken up more women, and they are now have transformed from the traditional knitting and weaving, which is not necessarily bad, although it was taking time for them to get money. One basket, you spend around 3 weeks, complete a basket. But if you are making plates, manufacturing, every hour you'd spend, you'd make 100 plates. You can make many clothes than weaving for a whole day. Because we are competing with other developed countries, China, for example. If you are going to weave a basket for 3 weeks, China is going to produce 1 million of them in 1 hour. So you must compete. And that's how we have been able to transform them from that small scale and get into the skilling to utilize their potential. Uganda as a country has registered a tremendous success towards supporting business women incubators in advancing regional trade for both small and large enterprises. Business women incubators provide business support services to women involved in agro-processing, ICT, and handcraft, including textile, and require equipment for those sectors, activities, and interventions. The enabling policy framework in place and programs such as National Innovation Framework that extend support to women incubators has also strengthened coordination between women in business and government institutions. This has greatly contributed to their success in agribusiness enterprises and also national gross domestic product, which is now 4.8%, notwithstanding the decline from 5.5 as a result of the impact of COVID that affected the entire business community. All these efforts and interventions are geared towards advancing and strengthening the business environment and hence promoting national and regional trade. It is with this supportive policy and legal environment that agribusiness in Uganda have flourished. I therefore wish to congratulate the rural women who have benefited from the two initiatives that were supported by GIZ. My message to them is to keep up the good work that is generating wealth and creating employment for rural women. improving their household incomes. Distinguished participants, the government of Uganda remains committed to program for promoting women in agriculture through formulation of legal and policy framework that promote women's empowerment. Further, Uganda is the country which is the of the international and regional protocols through implementation and the contribution towards the regional development. I wish to thank and appreciate the organizers, Uganda National Farmers Federation and the GIZ, for the support they have rendered and for organizing this meeting. I wish also to extend our appreciation to the development partners, the UN agencies, the private sector organizations, and the UN Agriculture and the Uganda Agribusiness community for the support and cooperation. I am certain that objective for this we have gathered in this event, which are to strengthen coordination, networking, share experiences, and enhance participation towards women's economic empowerment, has been achieved. I want to encourage women to embrace digitalization. Digitalization is about using the computer. I am sure everybody has a phone. That one I'm sure. Is there anybody without a phone? By show of hands. Anybody without a phone? You have missed chance, I would have given you mine. Thank God everybody has. The telephones are really, it's now an era where everybody, whether you speak English or they have gone to school or what, their communication is very, very important. Take positive advantage of the telephone. In reporting gender-based violence, now you can do it without necessarily going to police. Put yourself in a corner, take pictures, show us evidence, lament, we shall get to where you are, for as long as you give us indication where you are. Now you no longer have to waste for time to go to, you can go to police, but at least you can use your telephone to give us information and police will locate you where you are. Secondly, we can operate virtual offices. For those of us who would run to Kampala to look for jobs, you can create work. Every work, including what you are doing in the office, including what I do in the office, can be done at home. Because we have also realized that in as much as we have gotten into the working space, the caregiving services we were giving and nurturing our children has gone down. We are carrying children to work, and sometimes we limit their space and their ability to grow. We leave children with people who do not necessarily have the same passion as the mothers do. And therefore, they do not know what to give and what information to give or not to give to the children. What they do, they throw the phones to them, and the child concentrates on the phone, looking at pictures, gets hungry, do not have balanced diet. I was amazed when I went to Kabari 2-3 days ago, and they were struggling with the stunted growth. A very highly productive area, a highly fertile place that everybody knows about. A few years ago, it was Bushenyi, which was endowed naturally with milk and honey, and every food grows there. But because of commercialization, whatever goods we produce, we want to take to the market, and never do we leave some at home. So take also advantage of the innovations that we are talking about, which are women, which are friendly, so that we quickly get out of poverty. Let's not limit ourselves to what we always knew. A hoe, this hand hoe, is enslaving women. If there is new slavery, the use of a hand hoe is another enslavement. It is an enslavement tool. But there are alternatives we can utilize because mechanization is now available that is user-friendly for women. With these few remarks, I'm pleased and honored to be with you. Was I the last person to speak, or there was somebody else? I was the last one. Oh, I'm very strategic. I work teams strategically towards the second last person, and I'm here with you. I am really pleased and honored to close this meeting, except for administrative announcements. I am here given an opportunity. That is what it tells me. This message tells me. But there is a moderator who has other announcements to make before this. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Peace Mutuzo. Actually, Honorable, you were the last one on our guests to speak, but right now we have a moment of truth that we would want you to listen to. Yes. So it's a moment of listening to what the results, the baseline from what the projects that we are closing today have been like the past 2 years. So I would like to welcome Dina to take us through that. Thank you so much. Otherwise, please give Honorable another applause. Yeah, what I know about Honorable Dr. Mutuzo, she's very passionate about technology. I am meeting her for the second time. As an advocate of women in STEM, women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we had an opportunity to hear from her, and this is what I got from her speech. I would like to share with you is that the technology that is there is to help us save time as women. Remember those days when we used to cook matoke? For me, I come from the central region. We used to cook matoke for 3 hours. You wake up in the morning, you go to the garden, harvest the matoke, peel, put it in the banana leaves, put it on fire, and then you wait for it for 2 hours, then take it off, press it, put it back. And then, surprisingly, this food is consumed in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes. But someone has taken 3 hours, close to 3 hours, just preparing something that is going to be consumed in only 5 minutes. Ladies, are you hearing that time? Time that we could be doing some other things that are productive. Today, we have pressure saucepans. Where does our money go as women? Why would you prepare food for 3 hours, which you can prepare in 10 minutes, and use the other hours to do something else, to make money? So, thank you so much, Honorable. So, Jenna, wow.
Okay, can you hear me at the back as well? Okay, perfect. So, dear honorables, dear partners, UNFFE and UNYFA, friends, and of course, dear rural women. First of all, I also want to say thank you for coming and welcoming us again to Uganda from our side as well, from the project team. And before we are diving deeper into our activities, and as also Diana already told you, to have a look at the project successes, I want to introduce you one last time, or give you one last time an overview about the German Association of Rural Women, which was like the main organizer or main stakeholder in this project, together with the local partner organizations UNFFE and UNYFA. So first of all, DLV was founded in 1948. So that means that our organization is more than 77 years old now. And we have around 450,000 members across Germany. And our aim is to improve the social, economic, and political situation of women, and of course their families in rural areas. And how DLV is doing that? So by having a very strong nationwide network and a supportive community, by providing skill trainings, doing advocacy for rural women, as well as implementing projects to empower women. And we as a project team, we are also very pleased that we were able to bring a delegation all the way from Germany here to us to celebrate with us the project successes. So you were already welcomed by our president, Mrs. Benkamper. Then, of course, we also have our CEO with us, Mrs. Ruhe, and also a board member, Mrs. Kulis. Maybe we can give them a clap as well. Why not? Okay, and since 2017, the DLV internationalized its activities. So from 2017 to 22, we worked together with rural women in Ghana, and since 2022, we are active with rural women in Uganda now. And our international engagement has always been carried out in cooperation with GIZ and was always funded by the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. And we are also delighted that we have representatives from these essential partners here as well. So on this side, Mr. Russell, and also from GIZ, we are also expecting some partners. So yeah, maybe we can also give them a clap. So, and then very short about our overall objective of the DLV international activities. It's, we are using our decades of strengths and also experience and network to, advance our previously stated mission, which you can also see here on a global level to empower rural women worldwide. So it's, of course, all about strengthening the role of rural women in the food and agricultural sector in Uganda. Also here promoting leadership and advocacy skills, building sustainable networks, partnerships, and also supportive community, and also, of course, improving the access to knowledge, exchange, and agriculture policy and political participation. Okay, and our projects are based on a holistic and bottom-up approach. So it's about to share knowledge from rural women to rural women. This is really special and important to our organization. Also to strengthening structures and also enabling participation of rural women. And to ensure sustainability, we are also working close together with local partners like GIZ, but also UNFFE and UNYFA, as already mentioned. And also we have some trainers here today who accompanied and supported our activities. So I see Steffi, for example, or Joseph, or Prudence. Maybe we can also give them love. Thank you so much for coming as well. Yes, and there you can have a brief overview again about our intervention areas and activities. I would like also to take the moment to once again highlight the commitment of our participating rural women. You contributed tirelessly across all our intervention areas, and I think that is also a very big clap worth it. So thank you so much. Yes, and on my last slide about more the introductory part, you can see again the formats in which you as participants have taken part. So we went through participatory workshops, we had TOT trainings, we had tandem concepts, but also study tours to Germany, but also to Kenya, and international exchange in general.
Yeah, thank you, and good afternoon from my side too. I will talk now about our first intervention area, which is called the Associational Development and Advocacy for Women from Farmers Associations. And there it's about the 2 study tours that we had. So we have many participants here who did an amazing job coming to Germany and to Kenya as well because of visa regulations. Some people could not join us in Germany. And there are 2 cohorts. One was in 2023 and one was in 2024. And the aim was really to have workshops on networking, on organizational development, on everything what Gina already mentioned, and as well as leadership, advocacy, and lobbying. And the aim was to just get ideas from from Germany, from the networking with the German rural women associations, with the regional associations that we were partnering with, and then bring ideas, new and old ideas together back to Uganda and implement little projects. And yeah, we have many projects as we have many exhibitors who you can join and talk to. They can tell you more about all these projects, but I will also show you some success stories shortly. Then here you can see some impressions from our field visits, our excursion days that we also, where we were all across Germany. So we were in Westfalen-Lippe, like our President, Ms. Beinkemper, that's her mother organization, like she's from that region. And we were coming to the women's houses from the rural women, and we were invited, we were talking, discussing about family succession, about rural life in Germany. And I think we all had a great day, I would say. And another, some highlights were definitely because we were in the north of Germany, so we could see the Baltic Sea, the North Sea, and see also like the very Eastern Frisian life in Germany. So that was definitely a highlight to see the cultural differences, but also similarities that we are having. And I think there, most of the participants got the most inspiration from for their own projects in Uganda. And recently we conducted an impact study on these transfer ideas and how sustainable they were. And I can say, like, I think also with a lot of pride that many of these implementations are still ongoing today. So first, 97.5% implemented their ideas, which is, of course, also a success for us. And also the sustainability, 90% are still pursuing, growing, developing their projects, and only a few had to stop because of economic reasons, logistical, financial challenges that they were facing. But I think they changed their project a little bit. They are still continuing to grow in their associations. And another thing is the workshop that were given on leadership and advocacy are taking their fruits as well, that 87% are more in leadership positions, are speaking up, are developing their organizations as leaders, as female leaders, and advocating for themselves as well. So this is also a huge success. And for me personally, the personal empowerment, because we've been very close to all of you, all the participants, and we saw over the year how much you grew into the women that you are today. And I think, yeah, there were already some tears coming down from one of our trainers. So it's super nice to see how you've been growing. And that is also what you have been reflecting in this impact study, with 90% saying that they got more confident and have way more to say, and like the confidence that I was talking about. And now I'm talking, yeah. I think this is a round for a reason for applause. And talking about success stories, I would want to highlight two women. We have here Namusuka Christine, who is the chairwoman of the Tricolore Women's Group in Masaka, and she was part of the second cohort, so she went to Germany in 2024. And she got this inspiration from the rural women that they were taking in Germany, that they were taking all resources at hand and turned it into something. And that's where she is saying, the trip changed my perspective. I was impressed by how committed the women in Germany are to using every resource. Even waste is turned into something valuable. And Christine is also over there, an exhibitor, and she is doing amazing work, making briquettes and selling them. And yeah, I think that's definitely a highlight. Another woman I would like to highlight is Nakabugo Fron, sorry. She is the secretary of the Kibila Women's Saving and Loans Association in Kayunga district. And for her, it was very much that finances were not going as they should be. And she went to Germany, learned about time management, about leadership, and records were poorly kept in her organization, so she learned a lot about that as well. And she was the leader in her group, and when she was gone, everything stopped. So there was no movement at all. The women were waiting for her to come back. And when she went to Germany, came back, that's when the change happened, that she implemented the leadership skills with her women's group so that the weight is not only on her shoulders alone, but distributed among others as well, because it weakens the group and not strengthens the group if it's only one leader. And that's what she learned in Germany. And this is, I think, another round for applause.
Yeah, talking about leadership, we are also having a whole intervention area which focused on development of female leadership skills, but in an international exchange. So that was also a very special program. There we focused on like a several months exchange program between rural women from, in the first round, English-speaking African countries and Germany, and in the second round from French-speaking African countries and Germany. And in total we had 40 women coming from 26 different African countries and 9 women from Germany. So that was also a very special experience. And we also worked together closely with other partner organizations here, the Pan-African Farmers Organization, PAFO, and also the Andreas Hermes Academy. And I also just want to give you a very short insight in this kind of several months program. So both rounds, they had like workshops about leaderships on site in Rwanda, because it's currently the headquarter of PAFO. And then they had some months of online sessions. They got really interesting inputs online by role models, by leadership role models, and then they met again in Germany to wrap also everything up. And I think since today, the last years, they developed a international, or you can also say global network between female leadership women. And that was also a very exciting program to us, something very new. Here you can see also the woman from the second round, which was in French. So that was also a little bit challenging for our German rural women, of course. But our success, I have already talked about that. We had a lot of diverse participants. And in this intervention area, we also had the chance to extend our activities a little bit. We also strengthened an East African network. So we brought together some women from Kenya, Zambia, and also Uganda. And 2 of our Kenyan representatives are also here today. This is Winnie, and also Karen is here with us. Thank you so much. So if you have time during the tea break or also in the networking cocktail reception, feel free to also contact them or get in touch with them to also strengthen the connections between East African women. Yes, and then I also brought, I wanted to give you an insight on the opinion of one of our participants, and she highlighted how important it is to grow and move forward, also to encourage other women and not only stay in their own country or like in their own bubble, as also Jenny highlighted, that it's important to maybe also share leadership positions and encourage each other and empower also each other also between women. Yes.
And very briefly, I will be talking about our third intervention area that is together with UNFFE. And I welcome the Deputy CEO, Mr. Paris, perfect timing, because you will be giving a presentation later on your successes as well and about the sustainability about the project. I will not go too deep into it, but just like a very brief appreciation for the success that we had, which is, I think, very good that we established a rural women farmer platform within UNFFE, so every woman can join and advocate for their needs, for their interests. And that was in close cooperation first with Prudence, the trainer, and now of course with Shamim. And exactly, so we are very proud about that too. It was established last year at the very same day, at the International Day of Rural Women 2024. Also here we had a very brief project evaluation, and what can be said about the cooperation with UNFFE is that women, the workshop that have been done within UNFFE and within the district farmers organizations, that they could not speak up first, but then here's like a participant from a focused discussion group from Lira district. She says that before in meetings she was very silent, and even if she had something important to say, she did not speak up. But now she is able to do so, and is also more confident to do so. So yeah, this is a very, very great success. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and I will do the same, just like Jenny did, give you a brief overview about our partnership in our fourth intervention area with UNYFA, the Young Farmers Federation, because they're also having a presentation later on in the afternoon. So I want to let them share their own perspectives. But let me just point out also maybe the highlights from our collaboration. So first of all, we had a project which was called Enhancing the Capacity of Young Women in Agribusinesses. And yeah, I will directly jump to our examples of project successes, which are really milestones to us. So first of all, we were very active in skill development. So UNIFA identified 20 rural women who were active as TOTs and as multipliers in the areas of business development, advocacy, leadership, and also gender mainstreaming. And they also transferred or passed on their knowledge they have gained into their communities. And in total, we had 400 beneficiaries of this activity. And then we also had the formation of 450 young women in specialized groups. And also a highlight was to carry out major events like the International Day of Rural Women together with UNIFA, to lobby and advocacy for the interest of rural women. Yes, so far I think we gave you a short overview of our project successes. Later we will hear more from our partners. And thank you once again for your attention. And we will move on with the tea breakers.
Wow, another applause for Gina and Jennifer. Thank you for accepting to be Ugandan. Thank you for feeling every bit of it. And thank you for empowering young women. I would like to recognize the presence of the Deputy Executive Director of UNFFE, gentleman. He's right here. It's just that the cameramen are... But I think you've seen him, so you're very welcome. And before our guest speakers leave, we'd like to give Prudence an opportunity to announce the winning exhibitor so that they are recognized and they are appreciated. So Prudence, thereafter we shall have a group photo and a group photo with our guest speakers and our guest of honor. And we shall move on to listening to more stories, very empowering stories by extraordinary women.
Thank you so much, Madam Moderator, and all the protocols observed in this room. Good afternoon once again. My name is Prudence Aijuka, and I am a very, very passionate person on working out and supporting the rural women farmers. Yes. I take this opportunity to share with you briefly about the winners in exhibition that we have in this house that deserve to be recognized. And I don't know if I should stand up properly or walk around, but one of the persons that has exhibited great products in terms of diversity, in terms of preservation of the environment by using solar dryers and preserving nature with different brands and different products. I would like to invite Patience Pays. Yes, please let's cheer them. Yes, yes, yes. You just stay there. The second one, I will have a team to tell us if we need to do anything for them, but please appreciate them. The second one is none other than Mama Frolens. Yes. Mama Frolens, where are they? Yes, they have unique products for nutrition, and they solve many problems related to rural women. Their branding is objective, and they are providing solutions to the rural women. And finally, we have one other person who has exhibited unique products that are very nutritious, and they are saving environment by using environmental friendly, renewable solutions to add value to their products. And this is none other than Katosi women. Yes, let's appreciate them. Katosi women, are you there? Yes, let's appreciate them. Yes, so organizing team, you can advise us if we only need to clap for them or we have something special. But yeah, we put them in our local language. Thank you so much, and we wish you the best. Thank you for the guidance. I would like to invite our guests. Please come over here so that we are able to award Honorable Minister, DLV President, and our representative from the embassy. So I would like to, how do we arrange ourselves? Please guide us. Do we be in a curve or what? So we'll have, you can extend this way. We'll have Patience Pays get their award, and they will shake the hands of the big people in the house. When I grow up, I want to be like them. Eh? Yes. A hand clap for them. Yes, and feel free to shake the hands of the other important dignitaries in the house. Yes, great. You don't want to shake the hands of big people? Okay. 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 The second one is Mama Frolens, the young person in the house. Yes, keep working hard. And I like the branding on yourself as well. Yeah. Please feel free to shake the hands of the other dignitaries. And then finally is Katosi women. Yes. Okay. Congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations. So we'll shake the hands and come closer for a group photo for the winners. And we wish you the very, very best. Yes. Please come all together. Aha. I don't have one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And before you leave still, would like to this opportunity, take this opportunity to sign as the official closure of this project. I want to give the minister to sign and all our guests. And then we shall come over for the group photo. Yeah. The back, yes, eh? Oh. Thank you so much. The cameraman, you can guide us kindly on the photo, on the group photo in just 1 minute, please, so that we can go on. Yes, yes. Oh, sorry. We need some more partners, please. More partners. We have from UNFFE, from UNYFA, from private sector. The president from Kenya. German Association of Rural Women. Try us. Is Lydia still around? Stand by. The representative of the women wing. Yes. Done. Okay. Thank you so much. And so, a group photo now. We're going to start with the winners, the photo with the winners, and all the German Association of Rural Women, the minister, the representative from German Embassy, please. Please. Honorable. Yeah, the first photo is. The representative from the German Development Office, Embassy. Okay. Please. Please. So cameraman, we are waiting for you. What? So, the media team, you tell us if the photo is enough, then we expand the photo. So the partners, please, the partners in the house, please let us grow the picture. And also all of us, maybe you stand up at this juncture so that we just feed in. Please, the President, Kenya. Yeah, the German. Please. GIZ. Please. Wow. Please. The rest, please, let's start up and just be very fast. We just grow. Join the photo. We shall fit. No worries. Maybe some of you go with the chairs. Go with the chairs so that some of you sit. Yeah, you can go behind a little. Those who are tall, you get in front. We need more chairs. We can utilize more chairs in front. Media. Yeah, we can fit. You can sit. Rural women? Rural women? All right. Thank you so much, media team. Thank you so much. Mm. Florence, Florence, Florence. Then Martha. Panelist. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we have not yet closed the, the event. More nice things are yet to come. We are only giving room to our Honorable Minister. Oh yes, and she's going to check on the items on our tables. So I'm sure only one person maybe can go to check on the items so that you can take the minister around. However, we are going on with our ceremony, and we are going to listen to more stories from the panelists that are going to share with us their experience, the projects they have been undertaking. Like Gina and Jennifer made a presentation, their stories we want to hear from the horse's mouth, how the experience has been the past 2 years, and what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, and the way forward for all of us to gain from this. So I want to invite Jessica. Sorry. Yeah, we are going to, we shall call you, but after, let us first do the tea break, and then we shall start with the panel. Okay? So right now we can go for a tea break for just a few minutes, and then at 3:30 we shall get back here. Okay? Yes. Thank you.
where these success stories were built from. What was the framework about that? And that is between the National Farmers Federation and the Young Farmers Federation. So in the partnership with the German Association of Rural Women, we are having two projects. The first one is with the National Farmers Federation, and I know Shamim will be ready with the representative from UNFFE to share about SWISA, which you are seeing here. And then on our side, as the Young Farmers Federation, ours was to enhance the capacity of young women in agribusiness. So ECAWA project, and it was implemented by us from the period we started the inception. And what was the goal? The goal was to improve the livelihoods of 400 rural women in the northern region and West Nile. So we are looking at Lira, Apache, and Oyam, and then in West Nile looking at Arua, Madiokolo, and Maracha districts. And that is where majority of you are coming from, apart from one other key peculiar thing that we were adding, that was joining both the National Farmers Federation and us, and that is the exchange that we were organizing. So the objectives were more to create 20 agripreneurs through intentional agribusiness skilling and role modeling. So we had to get key role models to help in showing the women that they can do it. And these role models are home-based within where they are coming from, to show these good examples, but also to pick out some training of trainers. Some of them are here. Where are they? The TOTs? Wonderful, yes. So you see these young ladies here who have been coming from the actual groups to train the same members. So our approach was that we get these TOTs together, learn together, and then they go back to their groups to do the same on the various kind of aspects. To enhance women inclusion in agribusiness through strengthened farmer institution development. So we are trying to see how we can build these women groups at the grassroots level, especially in their groups. Also to amplify the needs and interests of rural females, because we are advocacy organizations, both the National Farmers Federation and UNYFA. One of the key objectives was to see that the voices and interests of these young people and women are put on the forefront. And then the other one was, the last one was to expose and network, not 20, but 40 women through international study tours. And I think majority of you participated in this, not so? So we had 2 cohorts of women. The first cohort was very successful. We had all the 20 come to Germany. By then, Philip has left for the embassy, but she's also around. By then, the international immigration laws were not that very strict that all the 20 that applied had to come to Germany. For the second cohort, we couldn't take all of them. Yeah, so it was a challenge. Only half of them could get visas after that, and now it is even tough. It's not very easy to have people travel to Germany because of the restrictions that are increasing, especially in travel. But at least we managed to expose 20 in the first round and 10? I mean, 12 in the second round. So meaning out of 40 first, going to Germany, that was the objective. We had 32 out of 40, but we had all the 40 exposed. And the 8 that didn't go to Germany had to go to Kenya to have a study trip to Kenya. to visit the Women Association of Kenya, but also because one of the goals for these exposed women was to have transfer ideas, where all the 39, yes, one of them who was in the first round is not within the African continent, had to move with the husband to the UK. So all the 39 had to develop ideas, which some of them are some of the success stories that we are going to talk about. What are the achievements? Yes, 20 rural women groups empowered, but also 20 TOTs. Training of trainers have been empowered in the last 2.5 years in leadership roles, communities, and how to make informed decisions. At least I think we have tried to empower these ladies, not so? Yes. And sometimes some of them at the beginning, they were very shy. You heard from the moderator. But now they are very, very strong ladies in their communities, and we are trying also to connect them to different projects, but also to different opportunities. Then also, we have tried to increase the incomes because we had to train them in village savings and local lending associations, which was one of the key things that we tried to put in the program. Also, I've already talked about the exposure for the rural women, 40 of them, and all the 39 have a unique transfer idea. So as they were getting exposed, you are being told to get an idea that you can transfer. So pick after saying, so it is art, action, reflection, and transfer. So you go for the activity, you reflect about it, and then have something to carry back home. I think you carried a lot, yeah? And some of these are the transfer ideas that you developed. Then the membership, one of the key roles that we had to do, why we had this women intervention, was that at the beginning, when President Petra visited our office, the participation of females was low. And we have moved from 17 now to 39% at least by the end of the project, because more women are participating in our programs, and that is one of the bases as to why we had the program within UNYFA, because we had few women, especially young women, because the challenge was that when they were in youth groups, especially those who have given birth, they were being told to go to the mothers' union, to the main groups. Once they go to the old ones, they are being told you are young, so they would just be in the middle in there. So, and also, because we are dealing with a very volatile group, the young husbands wouldn't allow them to go out to meet other men and female and other men there, because they were insecure. So this is one of the key challenges, and why many of the females were not participating. Yeah? They can attest. I wouldn't want to pinpoint to one to give us their story, but it has been happening, and it's one of the key things as to why the intervention was there. And then the networking. At least the ladies here, you can attest. You have tried to network. Not so. We have connected ladies from Karamoja to the ladies in Kanungu. We have connected the ladies to the ladies of Kenya and Zambia through the project, but also within, especially those who are even the TOTs themselves, the training of trainers, all the 20 from the different regions know each other and can easily communicate. And we have tried to put a platform where they can share. Yes. And then, yes, the 20 women groups, I think I've talked about it. I don't want to take a lot of time on that. Then, yes, as we are closing, we don't want to put these efforts to the end. But all of us have to work towards sustainability of the little that we have achieved, but could be a lot to most of us. So let us try to look at how we could sustain what we have gained from this program. Some of the interventions have been intentional, like the network. The networking is something that is going to help us in trying to not to have this end. So to have some of the opportunities taken on. So one, the capacity building. We want to continuously train and build capacity of rural women and their organizations using, one, the human resource at UNIFA, because now for us, as our agenda officer, she's trying to see that in whatever we do, we have a gender lens in that. But also, using the training of trainers. Some of them that are here can attest. Whatever intervention we are trying to bring on board, they are the first people we have to look at. Yeah? How many interventions are you with us? Are you working on with us? Eh?
3 of them.
You see, we are trying to look at whatever intervention, so such that they build on this that we have started. So if a project comes within that area, we try to bring on this training of trainers to further build their capacity, but also to see that we scale on this. Then we want to increase strengthening market linkages and access to finance, and that is why we are trying, in all our interventions, to also bring government opportunities, like GROW, like the Stanbic Bank now, to talk to the ladies, to see how we can have them access the finance, but also as they highlight and exhibit their products, and also through the National Farmers Federation annual exhibition, can bring on all that they are doing to see that it is broadcast to the world to see. Then in group dynamics, fostering strong good dynamics and leadership among women for the rural women, and this is going to also be connected with the various interventions that we are bringing, even in the areas. So in West Nile, we have looked at EU to bring other projects that we want the ladies to get involved in. And then partnerships. As UNIFA, we are trying to build partnerships with stakeholders, especially government, the private sector, and development organizations to build on what DLV has brought on board. I think yesterday we shared part of this, and you have seen how we have brought on TRIAS. The EU, WAD and DAD were supposed to be here because we have an intervention with them to see how we can help, especially the young women. Our focus is on the young women. Martha, on the young ones, not you, yes. So for the young ones, we are going to continuously do that and put them in our various interventions. I know the National Farmers Federation is also looking at Martha and the rest to see that all these efforts are on board. Yes, lastly, I want to thank especially DLV. I want to thank you so much for bankrolling this, and also want you to extend our best wishes and regards to BMZ that have supported us through this program. We want to thank your project team that we have worked with, Gina and Jenny. At the beginning, they were all confusing. When I speak to this one, I say Jenny. When I speak to Jenny, I say Gina. So it was confusing at the beginning, and I tell, who are you talking to first? So at the beginning, I was a bit confused, but now I know all of them. I want to thank you so much. But I also want to thank, yes, I've not been doing this. So the person who has been doing that has been Rema. I want to thank you so much for that. Yes. Oh, so she has been trying to talk to all the ladies all the time, whether at midnight, sometimes, if we have something, we have to call, are you ready for tomorrow, all this. So we want to thank you so much for the work, and we will continue doing that. And lastly, I want to thank myself for seeing this through. Thank you so much. Yes, Shamim?
Okay. Thank you, Madam Shamim. My name is Nansambai Machulet. Our president from Germany, you are welcome. They have given me only 10 minutes. I recognize each and everybody after my presentation. Thank you very much. So now this is a brief view of the project. We have key milestones, impact of the project. We have the challenges, future and way forward for the Women's Network, and then conclusion. So the name of the project was Strengthening the Rural Women Farmers' Involvement in Strategic Agriculture-Related Activities under SWISA. The period is there. These are the key milestones. Formation and operationalization of the rural women farmers, advocacy, group management, and decision making. Women are now able to make decisions on their own. Then increase visibility. Rural women farmers actively represented in the agricultural dialogue and policy forums. Enhanced confidence. As you can now see and hear how ladies are presenting their views, women leaders now engage with the DFS, UNFFE, and the government institutions and equal footing. Women are empowered and confident. Then when it comes to networking, there is regional collaboration for Uganda National Farmers Federation and women engagement with the women, tailor-made products and engagements of rural women farmers in the country. We look forward for more other opportunities to engage the women, to continuous engagement, learning, networking, and mobilization for increased opportunities of engagement. The presentation is over. On my behalf, as I told you, I'm Nansambai Machulet. I'd like to welcome you in Uganda, our dear donors. Our guest, the protocol was already observed. And on behalf of our president of the Uganda National Farmers Federation, rural women, Madam Vanji Ekilepa, who is seriously sick. She was admitted. She's not well at a standstill. We are going to move because we have been empowered and we have knowledge in our coconuts. So, thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Nice journey.
That was not enough. Thank them more.
And can we also highlight Shamim at this moment, because she's a project manager for the SWISA project. Maybe we can also give her extra clap.
Wow, thank you so much, Gina, for that. So we are going to invite the panelists to tell the stories, okay? To tell the stories and motivate us, and we'll also get to hear from you. I'm sure everyone will have a second, 20 seconds. So I would like to invite Jessica. An applause for her. Are you excited to hear her story? Rural women. Rural women? No, not yet. Rural women? Okay. So I'd like to invite Nangobi Martha. Is Martha in the house? Oh, maybe she has stepped out a little. She was just there. So Akulo, Sharon? And Rachel Alobi. All right. Right. So, ladies, the ladies you see before you are representing you on the different projects that are being supported by DLV. Yeah, Martha is here. Uh, yeah, as Martha takes her seat. So, Martha is one of the beneficiaries of the exchange program where the rural women visited the rural women in German, and all of them were able to get a transfer idea, just like you've heard from Dennis. So it is a pleasure to hear from her. And what is important for us is not what really her movements in German, but what really she came back to do here, the transfer idea. So she will share with us that. And then Jessica is also going to share with us the transfer idea on nutrition. She's also one of the beneficiaries of the exchange program. Sharon is SWISA. Yeah, and she will also share with us how the opportunities that have been presented to farmer organizations have benefited the communities out there. And then Rachel Florence is going to represent her, and she is also one of the beneficiaries of ECAWA, and she's also a multiplier. So, ladies, thank you for the work you're doing, and we shall start with Martha to tell us your experience. What is your success story, I should say? And we're all going to get at least 2 minutes maximum. Yeah. So you particularly tell us the success after what is your success story after the involvement in this project? Tell us the biggest highlight of what you can share with us, and maybe something that has changed your personal life, professionally. You share with us. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again. Nangobi Martha is my name. I'm a beneficiary, and I can call myself an alumni of this rural women. So, 2 minutes. I went to German and I had a transfer idea. Actually, there were several until I had to zero on one. I come from Katosi landing site on the lake shores. And one of the biggest challenges that we had was garbage. You know, when we collect all our garbage, farm waste and everything, we throw them in the lake. We didn't have anywhere to put the garbage. And yet we add value to fish. We are fish processors. We had to cut trees to make sure that we smoke our fish. So here was the task. What is your transfer idea? What are you going to do to transform your community? We looked around. We had so many things until I had to zero on this, which I shared with the members, that can't we really do this? Our main problem is firewood, and our business is smoking fish and all that. So we came up with that idea to collect the biodegradable waste, to make sure that we turn it into briquettes, and then we use it to smoke our fish, to minimize the cutting of trees. Little did I know that we were doing something that would really impact. First of all, when we were given the money, I had to take the women to learn how to make the briquettes. We went to Ginger. They were so excited. It was something that was doable. We could get our own waste. As you are supposed to throw maybe the banana peels and all that into the garden. They had to dry it and make their own briquettes. So this waste was now being turned into something that would again help them. So this is what we tried. And then as we were trying it, they were seeing women trying to collect garbage from people's homes. And people were giving in. You take, you're even helping me. So from that, I had to sell the idea to the people at the town council. It was forwarded to the district. I also had to inform the people at the district. Actually, when I got this opportunity to be elected in that position, I had to still lobby for the same. And when they came on ground, they realized this is something that can be of great help. From there, we continued making our briquettes manually, and we would make just something, just few of them that were not really sustainable. After that, when they made the budget, we didn't know what was going on in the production unit at the district. Amongst the groups that were supposed to benefit, many people wrote proposals, and then they said, no, why can't we help the other women who are doing this? So this year, around July, they called us to hand over machines worth 7 million shillings to help us to make briquettes. Out of excitement, that first day when the women tried to do it, we made around 300 because they had always collected their garbage and dried it. So we brought it into these machines. They gave us a carbonizer where we carbonize our wastes to bring it into powder. Then they gave us a crusher because we would just, I don't know how to smite them to make them into pieces. So they gave us a crusher. They gave us an extruder, which would transfer to the other, and then we press to get fine briquettes. So it reduced on our labor and even doing everything manually. We now produce those briquettes. And we first of all began by buying them ourselves. We told the women, first use them. You're not going to give people products that you cannot use. So they use them in their homes, and we have now started selling them.
All right.
Are the 2 minutes over?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martha. I can listen to you for the whole day. So what you're doing is it's really work above self. And I'm sure it is, some of us used to fear going to the landing sites because of the smelly environment. But your work, I'm sure now the landing sites are clean. Thank you so much.
Actually, she can bear witness when she came to visit us. She said this landing site is clean. She mentioned it when she came.
That is really impressive if landing sites can be clean. So thank you so much, Martha, for this work. So we shall, Florence, share with us your experience after.
Okay. Good evening, team. I'm called Alobi Rachel Priscilla. I'm from Lira District. I'm very profound and honored this evening to share with you the experience of being a TOT under UNYFA, implementing the ECAWA project that is enhancing the capacity of women in agribusiness. So, when UNYFA got us in 2023, we were in different groups. I was actually in particular in a youth group. And in our youth group, what we were doing was the VSLS, the savings, and just the weekly meetings. We come on Sundays, we do the savings, and yeah, we go home. Like we had rank was in our group, it was endless. This month we are having this, we try to solve, it's not solved, so people ignore. Then another month we have this, like, but when UNFFE came in, they said, okay, we wanted young people. And by that time, I was actually the youngest in my group. And they're like, Rachel, you can what? You can go and represent us. So when I represented the group, I was taught on leadership, advocacy, lobby, entrepreneurship. So I went back to the group and I told them, you know what, we are playing these games for no good reason. When we are a team, we are bigger compared to what? To when you're alone. And one person is not big, a group is bigger than what? One person. So in between there, we had to perform again re-elections, and elections were made, the group stabilized. And up to date, I can tell you, for the 2 years since then, up to now, we have not had group wrangles. The group is what? Is okay. And then now, being a TOT, I worked mostly with young women in the group because I was a young woman, so I had to work with other young women, mostly the teenage mothers. And we have been doing a lot of activities. One of them was how do we transform waste into what? Into something which is income generating. Since these young mothers actually were school droppers, you know, the wave of COVID-19, what it came with. So we organized ourselves, and still when I went to Kenya, I came back with a transfer idea from one of the farms from Ruth. And then I was like, okay, we can do something with local available materials. And our market was very dirty, very, very dirty. You know, the heaps of charcoal, and there is no use, the heaps of sawdust, like no one knew the use. And you know, the municipal council was complaining, where are we going to dump this thing? So I was like, for me, I've learned this from this, so can we put it into practice? The women agreed, and trust me, we have worked that charcoal out. You can't go and find out the charcoal dust in that market right now. The women are handling for themselves, and my principle was actually to make that charcoal dust go off, and it is off. So the women are also still earning money from that, and they're still using the same for domestic cooking in their homes. The thing actually I learned most, like communication skills, it has improved. I'm very grateful to Wandera actually. It has actually helped me a lot to improve my communication skills. You know, sometimes like they would invite us for trade shows, and like, Rachel, Pekeru, you have not, okay, sorry for my local language, like, you have not done this right, and I'm like, okay, I should make it better. Actually, that's why I was able to I think I was the first runner-up because of him, actually. I'm very grateful, Wandy. And then,
Right. Okay, 30 seconds.
Okay, one of the challenges I want to highlight, probably.
It's okay. The challenges we shall share.
Okay.
So let us first share the story, the success story, and then we shall share again. So Sharon, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good evening once again. My name is Sharon Nakulo. I am actually a farmer by myself and a farmer leader at the same time. I am actually pleased this evening to share with my fellow farmers, farmer leaders in the house about the benefit of the SWISA project that actually cut across in 10 districts. And Lira was one of those that actually benefited from the SWISA project. And under this, I need to applaud our donors for giving us this opportunity. Under the women groups that were down in the areas where the project were operating, we find a group without no clear structure. But clearly under this project, it gave me the zeal because I was one of those trainers that I voluntarily started training my fellow group, women group. So right now, under the SWISA project, one of that we have benefited is having a very clear group structure where we have the leadership, we have the chairperson, we have the treasurer, we have the secretary, and the group under the SWISA project is running smoothly. And secondly, what we benefited as rural women under the SWISA project was building our self-confidence deep down the rural women groups, whereby it was encouraging each and every woman in the group to speak out openly, to participate openly in activities of the group. So as I talk, we have developed what we call self-confidence, personal creativity, where every woman in the group can participate with a lot of self-confidence. And all this was built as a result of the SWISA project that was in the 10 districts. And the next benefit that we realized in Lira under the SWISA project was networking. Because in that we formed a forum of the women leadership, whereby women, for example, from Aromo, sub-county that at one point Gina visited, have created themselves in that network, whereby within the leadership structure, they can discuss issues of women. How do we go about? If there's a problem, how do we go about with the problem that has come up? And why I need to applaud this project and the SWISA leadership is involvement, total inclusivity or participation of women. And this has encouraged both that woman who can't write, who can't read, to be in groups. Not saying that you cannot read, you cannot write, so you are excluded. So there is that total inclusion of all the women in the groups. And lastly, what really I innovated, that was not one of the goals of the SWISA project, was to train on livelihood. That even though we are training on leadership, management, group dynamics, but we have a concept of livelihood. What do we grow to support our families in order to address food security? So I applaud SWISA project for giving us this opportunity as women to participate, exchange issues, ideas, and find solutions by ourselves. Thank you very much for giving us that opportunity as the rural women of Uganda and the Uganda National Farmers Federation. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sharon. You know, it is very easy to be rich when you're empowered. A woman that is not empowered, it's hard for them to make money. So thank you. So we shall hear from Jessica.
Thank you so much, our vibrant moderator, for giving me this opportunity. Protocol observed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, in bracket, vibrant rural women and rural men. I'm extremely happy to be in this place, and I highly appreciate everyone for attending this wonderful event. I am Nachiranda Jessica, the ED of God's Miracle Children and Women Organization that is legally registered in Iganga. The organization empowers children and women in areas of health, education, agriculture, business skills, and vocational skills training. I would like to thank the following kind-hearted donors, plus the teams. I would like to thank the DLV team, the UNYFA team, the UNFFE, for the excess support towards the success of these projects of impact. Thank you so much. Let me go straight to the question, sharing my success story. Professionally, I'm a medical worker, but what matters most is that I'm a proud rural woman. Before, this is what has been happening in our community. 95% of the children in my community have been facing an issue of malnutrition, and I've been realizing this at the working station, whereby every mother that comes in with a child, at least the child is malnourished. And to my surprise, these mothers have been referring malnourished children as being bewitched. That's what has been in our community. And after the training, I'm extremely happy that right now they can realize the signs and symptoms of a malnourished child and what exactly is needed to do in order to prevent this kind of malnutrition, most especially by following a 4-star plate diet meal preparation that includes the following on a plate meal. I would like to explain more about the 4-star plate diet. Before you think of preparing your meal, you have to consider the following on your plate. You have to know that your plate should contain 50% fruits and vegetables, 20% staples. When I talk about staples, I mean rice, I mean yams, potatoes, cassava, and so many others. Then your plate should contain 20% of legumes, and that I mean nuts, that is ground nuts, soya, the beans, and so many others. Then it has to contain 10% of the animal source of food. Hope I'm loud enough. Oh, thank you so
Those
much.
at the back, are you hearing? You're fine? Okay, all right.
Thank you so much. And 10% of your plate has to contain animal source of food, like the fish, the beef, and so many others. That is so far our success in the community. And I would like to inform the donors and the other audience in the class. I would like to inform you that so far the percentage of malnourished children has reduced from 95% to 30%. And by the end of next year, I think we shall have 0%. Okay, I would like to summarize. What I gained is facilitation skills, and my role model in this is Madam Steffi. Thank you so much. I really gained the facilitation skills that helped me to train the rural women when it came to proper feeding practices and proper meal preparations. The last one is that I gained during that training, I gained the point of being persistent. I mean, my role model in this is Madam Rehema. I think she was always persistent, irrespective of the conditions in the place. Thank you so much, our vibrant moderator. Because of time, allow me to end here.
Wow, thank you so much, Jessica. We really learned to hear more from you, especially on the food. I was looking at the 10% animal source, and then the fruits and vegetables, and then I was like, wow, this is a very expensive plate. How many people can afford it? However, maybe you will tell us more. I would like to, if you have any questions for our panelists, please. We have the cards on the table still. You can write, or you put up your hand and ask after. So they are also going to share with us their challenges. It hasn't been rosy. It hasn't been rosy, I'm sure. So we want to also share with us, what is that biggest challenge that you faced, and how did you curb it? Or if you've not yet curbed it, just share with us. Maybe the ladies here have a solution. So we shall start with you, Martha. Again, maximum of 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Surely, it cannot just be rosy all through. I'm telling you, we are dealing with garbage. You know what it means to many of you. Collecting garbage. What are you associated with as they see you in Kasasiro? People will always. And even then, as you're collecting garbage, some of these people who throw the garbage will not have the time to grade it for you. You have to grade it yourself. For them, their aim is to dump unless you give certain instructions. So in the process of doing that, collecting this garbage that is going to be biodegradable, there are so many challenges there. You know, I will not go into those details. And then, for you to get these briquettes, you have to dry. Where are you going to dry that garbage from? As people are drying silverfish here, you are taking their land to dry garbage. By the time it dries, the process is long. Like in this rainy season, what are you going to do? You need to dry it. You're not going to dry it in the house. It must be in the sun. But that is our raw material. So those are some of the challenges that we have really met as we are going. And even then, after making the briquettes, you need a solar tent dryer. So that means this project is expanding from this level to another level to another level. And all that needs land. Whose land? Where is the land? And who is going to give it to you? So we have just a small space where we put the briquettes that we have made, and we put them in-house in our room, just on the other side where we don't smoke from. Now, that means we are going to be limited. People will need briquettes, but you don't have anywhere to dry them from. We shall be limited until these ones are dry, then we have to put another load. And in due course, as people come to ask for briquettes, you look inefficient. You told us you are making, where are they? So that has been one of our challenges, and we are just trying to innovate certain ways how we can make ladders and how to make those briquettes.
Wow. Martha, you will get a solution, don't worry.
Yeah. And every other time as the challenge comes, we continue thinking.
Technology, I think with the
Yes.
technology these days,
Yes.
you will get a solution. So, Rachel, any challenges you want to share with us?
Yes.
Mm.
Now, one of the challenges when I was, not implementing the project, but as I was training the young mothers, one of it you call the mothers for the training, probably the evening, or you're having some show, maybe you brought someone to come and train them, and their husbands expect you to take care of the woman. So if something happens to the woman, you're responsible for that. And actually, they would approach me and really tell me that, you know what, you've told my woman to be away from home for this training. If something happens to it or if you get other issues, you're the one responsible. So it gave me hard time. I looked at myself, I was a young girl, now I have to start solving issues of people in their house, like I've not been in their house. So it was very challenging on my side. And then also, the teenage mothers had a lot of dependency syndrome. Like everything small they wanted to solve. They couldn't stand on their own, to do things like you were supposed to do for them. Everything comes from registration. You have to go to their homes. You just have to pull them out from wherever they are. So it was literally very hard, and they loved handouts. If the day we didn't have soda, so we didn't have food, you would really see the turn-up was very low. Yet at the end of the day, we were empowering them to become strong women. And then others had really very poor attitude towards this one, these trainings. They would be like, this one is just for a short while. I tell you what shall we gain at the end of the day? Others that looked at our project, the briquette making, as something very minor, they left the training, they didn't actually attend. But those ones who were persistent were the ones who achieved, and they're doing it right now. Then, of course, another issue was the sustainability of the project in relationship to the market. Not until we had to source for those ones who were doing chicken breeding. So that was where now we tried getting an open market for our product. So basically, those were challenges that we faced in the implementation as a TOT. Thank you.
Wow. That was a very good learning lesson. You see, we don't have any school for adulting. No one teaches us how to handle adulthood. But for you, you're lucky. You're learning now. So I'm hoping and I'm sure that it will be easier for you. So we want to hear from Sharon. If you have any questions for Rachel, you can write them down or you can save it. I'm sure in the next 6 minutes we shall be able to answer you.
Thank you very much, moderator. These are some of the challenges that we actually came across under the SWISA project. One of them was the distance traveled by the participants during the training sessions, and how we actually tried to intervene in this is creating what we call learning units, whereby if the group is 30, just to aid the session of that training, we divide the nearby members come together into what we are calling it learning units. And then if the other group is far away the other side, we also group them that side. So that actually gave them the morale to attend the training, to reduce on the distance that they would travel to come and attend the trainings. And then what again that came across as one of the challenge was these rural women has a lot of tasks associated to them. So if you say you're calling your training in the morning, there you will not really attain the number of the participants you'd expect. So what we did was to make this training in the afternoon, or to actually group this training in line with their saving groups, that the village saving association. There you find that in the afternoon, partly they're done with the garden, they're done with their cooking. So that gave us room to attain the numbers of the participants that we were expecting. And then it came to selecting the leadership of these various groups, whereby many of them felt so timid that for me, I am illiterate, I can't read, I can't write. So that was one of, you find the person has all the potential to be the chairperson of the group. But just because the person is saying she cannot read, she cannot write, that became a challenge. But we kept on encouraging them that even though you cannot read or write, but you can speak to your fellow women in the local language, and they will always respect you and they will always listen to you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Sharon. Yes, Jessica?
Thank you so much. Thank you once again, the moderator. Let me talk about the challenges that I faced during the implementation. One was emphasizing, I had a very difficult in emphasizing the 4-star plate diet rule. As the moderator has already talked about it, immediately I ended my speech. She was like, the plate is expensive. True, those are the very questions that they were asking me during the training. They were telling me, you know, you're introducing this, but it's too expensive. How did I overcome this? Is that I continued receiving endless questions, and we could sit and talk about, with the rural women, we talk about what exactly they can have access to. And about this still, the rural women knew it in the opposite way. They thought on a plate, staples should be 80%. When I talk about staples, I mean the the banana, I mean the rice, I mean the yams. They thought it should make 80% of the plate. And this is what is happening in our communities. I had difficulties in emphasizing this, but I'm extremely happy that after the training, really, we have got a great impact. Then another challenge was there was too much expectations from the rural women. After the training, they expected to be given seats because we established the kitchen gardens as the practical part of it, so they expected that we are going to give them seeds and manure in that they can go and practically do it in their gardens. The last challenge was climate-related challenges that included too much sunshine during the implementation. How did we overcome it? Was because of teamwork, where we did irrigation manually. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. So now the floor is yours, the audience. If you have any question directed to any of our panelists, please feel free. If there are any questions on the papers, I will come for them. But if you want to put up your hand and talk, okay, there are some questions here. If there is anyone that would like to speak. Okay. All of you are still shy. All right, okay. So this one goes to Jessica. You said that the child malnutrition percentage was reduced from 80 to 30%. How have you managed to measure it? And how have you achieved such a big percentage in a few months from the time of implementation? Jessica, how have you measured this 80% to 30%?
Thank you so much. I guess where the question is coming from. Thank you. As I earlier on introduced myself as a medical worker and a proud rural woman, I work in a health center in Iganga, and this is how we have been doing it. 95% was surveyed. As I've told you, these mothers could come and reach us at the health center. Am I clear about this? They could come and reach us at the health center, and you could take the names of those children. Then, after the training, we had to go and make a follow-up on these children by basing on the signs and symptoms of malnutrition. And not mention them. We have the brittle hair, we have the thin arms and thin legs with edema, a lot of signs and symptoms. And how have we noticed this? Is that if we registered a child, a malnourished child, we have to make a follow-up on this child. And if there is change in this child, we mark that, like we take that one as a great impact. And that is how we have been ensuring this and making the follow-up. Thank you. Hope I've answered the question.
All right. Have you been answered? Yes, she's a medical worker, so it is easy for her to collect data and get feedback from her patients.
Thank you for your presentations. I just have a question for Martha. Hi, Martha. I was just wondering, I know that people are very hesitant about charcoal that is produced from those wastes. You know, it's not like the original way that people used to do things. So I just wanted to know, how did you convince people to use yours? How are you kind of like pushing it out into the community so that they would buy into it and actually appreciate that very alternative way of cooking, heating their chicks and whatnot? So I think, yeah, I've been wondering about that one.
Martha? Thank you so much for that question. That was one of our concerns in the beginning. But, dear mothers, you'll bear witness with me that charcoal is becoming expensive every other day. Somebody buying briquettes, actually as I mentioned, I said we started with our own homes to practice, to use that charcoal in order to be able to convince the people. So somebody who would buy charcoal of 1,000, actually at the landing site you don't get charcoal of 1,000. It starts from 2,000. And for us, we were giving them briquettes at 1,000 to begin with. And when they tried it out, it looked cheaper. You know, these are women who earn daily. And the time we had our transfer idea, we had a ban on silverfish, and many women were not doing anything. It's women who are in the post-harvest harvest in handling, so they didn't have any income. And for us here in Uganda, we have that culture where a man leaves some money, we call it kameza, leaves some small money on table for you to take care of the home. It was our role as women to see that the 5,000 that has been left for you, you're able to buy charcoal, buy food, buy this. So if there is this, there are these brackets of 1,000 that I can use to cook some food, I would resort to that. And many started to come into that. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Martha. Is it answered?
And maybe the other thing was the issue of the health hazard. The firewood that we use has a lot of smoke. And with these briquettes, they are smoke free. So you can be in your small house, use the briquettes because it is cheaper. Because if people would fail to buy charcoal, they would resort to firewood. But firewood, lighting it inside the house, it brings a lot of smoke. So it was a health hazard. This one is solving a lot.
My question is, have you been able to get any more funding? Because, I mean, here we are, you have been supported initially to start this, but I mean, these projects have to be self-sustainable. So I want to hear from all of you actually. How are you going to make sure that they're sustainable? Have you tried to write some more proposals? Are the businesses ready to go now? You don't need any more support?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, in the morning, our DLV sisters were not around and mothers. I said, they brought us here. They made us start walking. We need to run. And it makes you proud to see your child running and reaching the other far. So, if I can recall, we were given some dollars. I don't know how many dollars, which made things to work out to this. So, given these challenges that we are having, we have tried. I personally, as I've told you, that we tried to lobby, we got the machines. But in these challenges, we are saying there is need for this. And when we calculated it, needed some money for the solar dryer to put our briquettes. There is need for some land and all that. So these are ideas that we need still somebody to hold our hand, move. You know, it is better to move with a child who is moving than a child who is seated. For us, we are moving. We have already started moving. So if somebody is moving with us, holding our hand, I know this project is closing, but the brains of our friends have not closed. They are looking around for something else. I know. And they will be so proud to see that most of these transfer ideas are at a different level. We are trying. I'm in touch with the Mukono District Environmental Committee. I tried to write a proposal, but does not limit me to still speak to my mothers who ignited my brain to start this project. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Rachel.
For us, via sustainability, when we went back to the grassroots, we became very audible. Like I told you, then we had our, I can say the local partners. One of them was Glowford, who has been continuously engaging the mothers and the youth in the group. And of recent, actually just about a week ago, we hosted a team of from Wooden Dart. I think Dennis talked about it. A team from Wooden Dart, and still they have started the work with us. And I hope it shall still be of great value and benefit to the teenage mothers. And then also away from the Wooden Dart team from Netherlands, we also have the community development officers and our people around us who really keep supporting us, because they know we are an outstanding group within the community who can teach others actually. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On this, now that the project is coming to an end, I remember I made an opening remark. I said, we are just starting after SWISA is closing. So in this, I am actually bringing this very loud that in the 10 districts where the SWISA project was really in, we have the district trainers in all this association, and I believe in all the trainings that went through all these 10 districts, they were included in the training. So from there, they are going to pick up as associations, as Uganda National Farmers Federation, because at the apex body here, we have one person who is totally responsible for this dissemination of this program. So now that SWISA is closing, but all these district associations have not closed, and all these persons were trained in all these various associations. So they will pick up from where SWISA has ended and then start from where they have stopped. And secondly, amongst the women groups that were trained, we had what we are calling the women lead farmers, those who could read, those who could write. So in this, they would also act like a farmer to farmer or a woman to woman training, where in the same 7 groups, they will be talking that at one point we had a project. It was on this, on this, on this. So that is how we are going to scale up what SWISA has actually brought to our various associations, to our various women groups. So we have an intervention, even though SWISA is closing today. But all those that have been trained are our master trainers on ground. Thank you.
That is so encouraging. Yes, Jessica?
Thank you so much, our moderator. As we all know that practical is better than theory, practically in our project, we established kitchen gardens where we cultivated vegetables like the collards and spinach. So we went on and met the district woman MP who gave us some seedlings, vegetable seedlings. She supplied to 40 rural women. Remember, the project was to empower 30 rural women. Then when she came in, she gave the vegetable seedlings to 40 rural women, and this was a very good donation. Though we still need more support, and my eye goes to the donors. We still need more support because we would like to initiate a feeding program where we practically show the mothers what exactly they have to do. Because sometimes we tell them, you know, it should be 50% fruits and vegetables, and when they go back home, they do the opposite. So we would like to initiate a feeding program in that we practically show them what to do. This program needs financial support. So we are still looking for more, though we are still writing more proposals for that. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm sure there are some members here that have a solution to Jessica, not so? Yeah, there are very many organizations that have come on board on nutrition, strongly on nutrition. So she only needs the contacts. She just needs the right contacts. So yes, Vice President, you have a question?
Yeah, thank you. Our panelists, we really appreciate you for what you have done for the various groups in your various capacities. And indeed, your capacity has been built and it has been evidenced. I just wanted to know from the team, one of the capital projects for this country currently is the Parish Development Model. And Parish Development Model is an initiative of empowering the rural or the less privileged community members. And when you look at the young people, these are the vulnerable groups of people. And when you look at the 30 per group, are there any opportunities that you have linked these groups to the Parish Development Model groups and then whether some members have benefited out of this project. Because currently, if a member gets 1 million Ugandan cedis, that's almost like US dollars around $300. If this is given to a rural woman, she can be able to pick it up from there with the capacity that has been built. So I encourage and I recommend that let's link these groups to the Paris development models. This is a government initiative that is really, and 30% is given to the youth, and then 30% is also given to the women. So I encourage, let's pick these women, let them pick up these monies, they start from there. That would be one of the greatest instability, so that they can pick up from there, even though we do not have a donors. That's why they can be able to pick up from. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. But you know here in Uganda, you need technical know-how to get some of those, benefit from some of those programs. So if you are there and then your group, really you want your group to benefit, you can speak to him, get his contact, because he has experience. He's a counselor LC5 for Nepi district, Maracha district. So he has experience in such programs, how to go about that, the procedure. You don't have to fear the offices, So you can talk to him, because most of these programs, government programs, are now benefiting groups, not individuals. So it is easier if you're in groups. So any other supplement? So, yeah, so I'm just going to give just one more round, just a word of inspiration to us rural women. What do you say, just in 1 minute, the must take home an encouraging statement for them not to give up and to do more work? Jessica, we are starting with you this time round.
Thank you so much, the moderator. Thank you, the audience, for giving us the attention from the start to the end. My advice to the other rural women is we need always to believe in ourselves. I mean, we shouldn't look at our backgrounds as a limit to success. Then another inspiration is I would like to I would like you to know that it's not yet done unless it is done. What do I mean? You have not to think about something and you leave it there. You have to first accomplish it before you say that it's really done. Another one is that let's follow the foster. Thank you. Let's follow the foster plate diet rule in order to be healthy. I think you've had that one. It's my major emphasis. Let's always follow the foster plate diet rule in order to be healthy. Okay. Then the last one is we need always to be confident. I mean, as she has already told us that there are some things that we need to have technically after having a connection with someone. I mean, we always need to be confident. Before you approach someone's office, you have to know that I have all the answers to the questions that the person will ask me regarding what has taken me to his office. Thank you so much. Okay, my contact, this is my WhatsApp number. It's not for calls, it's only WhatsApp. 078 Quadra 5 395. 078 Quadra 5 395. It's only for WhatsApp. Reason it's out of phone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone, for giving us this audience this evening. My message tonight to all the rural women, let's work as a team, because we who are in this house tonight, we are a representation of the many that couldn't make it here. So let's be a voice of that voiceless that we have left behind. If we have a collective system, we can address issues affecting the rural woman, because we are here representing the whole country, if I'm not mistaken. We are from West Nile, Central, Northern, Eastern, we are all here. And we know that from the various regions that we have come from, we have those deep down rural women. So as we are here tonight, all of us here, let's be into that consolidated rural woman system. As our Kenyan friends showed us this morning, that is the system that we, if we can all adopt, we'll actually see a transformative rural woman that everyone in this house tonight will smile, that sincerely speaking, we really stood, we really worked, we really made this program that was basically for the rural woman, touch the real beneficiary. And together we would celebrate the outcome or the output of all our efforts. My contact is 0774 551292. Mine is both for calls and WhatsApp. Thank you.
Okay. My message to all of us is, let's keep learning. Learning never stops. Today, the ECAWA project is ending, but when we keep learning, more projects shall come, and we shall still benefit. We shall still drive our communities to greater heights, and the sky is not even the limit. And then I urge all of us to keep on networking. Do not move home and keep quiet. You see an advert, then you forget Rachel is there. You see a call for proposal. You forget a Chan is there in Kotido. Let's network. Let's not stop. Even if you're not doing maybe the same project as I was doing, still there's something you have to learn from me, and I'm sure there's something I have to learn from you at the end of the day. Please, whenever you go to Lira, any one of you, please don't sleep in a hotel. I have a home. I can accommodate you. Thank you. Wish you all the best. My contact 0785 63 83 83. Both calls and WhatsApp. I'm very comfortable.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Rachel? Okay, thank you. Take home. I always believe there is gold in what we think is dirty. To get our gold, we need to put our hands down to touch what looks dirty to get our gold. If we believe in just touching what is white, we might miss out what is gold. And then let us be mindful of tomorrow. And change begins with me. In my home, if I want to look at conserving the environment, it begins with me. I'm not going to point fingers at anyone. That change begins with you in that location, and you'll make an impact. We all don't need to be in the same place, but that place where you are can create an impact. And when you put all your plans in God's hands, He will take the lead.
Wow.
My contact?
Yeah, your contact. For both WhatsApp and
yes, WhatsApp is 0772 420 480. WhatsApp and calls. And then I have 0701 420 480. That one is on 24/7. The WhatsApp can go off due to reasons of power.
Wow, let's put our hands together for our panelists. Thank you for sharing with us. And of course, my take away points from all of us is that we should never stop learning. If we are to move on, even after this closure, we need to continue learning. The more you yearn for more knowledge, the more connections you will get. I can testify to that. Ever since I got into these spaces in 2017, I don't know, I have continued learning and learning and learning, and the more I keep learning, the more I get to know more people, the more I get to get more skills, and the more I get to generally meet people who can support me, even financially. So when you stop learning, just know you have stopped living. So, and this doesn't, it's not for only those who are literate, even those who never went to school or have never looked at a blackboard or written anything. They are actually amazingly very, very wise people and very knowledgeable. I have learned so much from my community that I serve. I did not get an opportunity to be a beneficiary for the Rural Women Exchange, but for me, my opportunity was different. It was a hashing leadership seminar. It was supported by the Federal Ministry of German, and I got the opportunity to visit German and visit some farms, and also get, most importantly, leadership skills, team building skills, and conflict resolution skills. So for me, it changed my life so much. I was able to start my own community-based organization, my company, and the rest is history. It is really good life. So I really want to encourage you that just don't stop learning. Don't. So at this juncture, I don't know what I should do. How should we thank them? I'm going to invite a TOT to give us a thanking. Oh yes. Oh, is it okay? Oh yes, you have gifts actually. you have gifts. Wow, you can stand up, yeah, and then you can clap as they give them the gifts. Don't get jealous, eh? They will share with you. So thank you so much. These are gifts from the German Association of Rural Women. They are really, really grateful for your resilience to impact communities. Wow, and I think a photo. The media team wants you to stand somewhere here. Is it okay? Here in front. Rachel, you've left your gift? Thank you so much. So I would also want to invite the president. We are coming to the closure of this event, but we have another networking event downstairs. And I would like to invite the president, German Association of Rural Women, Petra, to give us her closing remarks. Kindly welcome her with an applause.
Thank you very much. So, dear friends, dear partners, dear women, ladies, you're tired. Is it so? My closing speech will last about 30 minutes. So, as this day draws to a close, I feel incredibly grateful and truly inspired. Today we have celebrated the conclusion of a project that was much more than a series of activities. It was a shared effort which was built on commitment and the belief that rural women can and should be at the center of change. Some of you were part of these activities. Others helped make them happen. All of you are part of this story. And what a story it is. I've met women who started with an idea and turned it into a business. Women who were quiet at first now speak with clarity and power. Women who formed groups, acted and changed their communities from the ground. So, from the ground up. These are not just only project results. They are personal transformations and collective achievements. We also know that this success would not have been possible without strong partnerships. I want to thank our Ugandan partners, especially UNYFA and UNFFE, for their dedication and expertise. I want to thank the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, the German Embassy, and GIZ for their support and trust. And I want to thank our DLV project team for their tireless commitment throughout this journey, which was characterized by a sense of responsibility, team spirit, patience, and passion. Thank you very much. So now I warmly invite you to join us for a cocktail reception as we toast to this shared achievement. But before we begin, we have to take a photo. Is it also downstairs? So please follow me. Thank you. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Petra. As she said, kindly follow her. So the media team can guide us on the photo. Where should we go? Where should we go, media team? Downstairs? Okay. Near where we had lunch from? Okay. Near where we had lunch from. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank you so much for the wonderful audience you've been. Thank you so much, rural women. I know we catch up in the next event.